Hello and welcome to our 11th session where we are going to continue with our modeling of goal gumbas. In our previous session, we created mesh cut model from the Unreal Engine. We took it into Blender and at the same size we recreated a model of a door and we exported it as FBX file. And now we have to continue it. When you actually move models from one 3D software to other 3D software, one thing we should be very careful is about the normals. So to demonstrate it, I will come into Unreal Engine, I will come into Content Drawer, I am going to import the FBX file that we exported in our previous session from Blender. So I will select it and click open, and now if you click import, we have 4 models here. If I open this door frame model and if I just zoom out, alt click and rotate it, you can see the frame in between is not appearing correctly, and the issue we are facing here is of the normals. So we have to rectify this defect in Blender and then export it and use it in Unreal Engine. I will come back into Blender 4.4. I will open the previously saved door.blend file. Although in our regular view this appears to be fine, if you come to show overlay and if you click here, you have one option here called as face orientation. So when I click on face orientation, now you can see in this entire model, this portion which we manually created the faces is showing red color. Red color means here the faces are wrongly oriented. So to solve this problem, I will come into edit mode and in face selection, I am going to select all the faces which are red here. So I will also select this face. I will temporarily off door top area and bottom area. So I will also turn down and select this face. And if you come into mesh, you have normal. And in normal, if you click flip, you can now see that the normals are flipped. I will turn around and see that I doesn't see any red face in my model. So this is one thing you have to observe and correct it before we export the model for Unreal Engine. I will now press tab and come into object mode. Then I will enable all the objects here, all the 4. Then go to file, export, and here I am going to come into FBX. I am now going to save it with the same name, door_edited.fbx, and I am going to export it. So if you are continuing from the previous session, then no issues, you can open the file and start immediately. If you doesn't have the previous session files and want to continue from here, now in the YouTube video or in the LMS description page, if you click here in the description more, you have a link here, Patreon link. When I click on this link, it will open the Patreon page, and if you scroll down, you have this file goalgumbas_part2.zip. Just click on this file to download this file. You have another file called as door_edited.fbx file and also the blend file. You can also download this door_edited.fbx file, and I am going to select this goalgumbas_part2.zip. Right click, come here and choose extract all and click extract. And now you have this folder goalgumbas_part2. Now just cut or copy this from this folder into your D Unreal projects folder and paste it over here. I will now double click on Epic Games Launcher to launch it. Unreal Engine, library. If I now scroll down, you have this file goalgumbas.u project goalgumbas part 2, which you just downloaded. I will just double click to open this project. Now once this project is open, I will now come into my content drawer and in content goalgumbas, I will double click this goalgumbas level to open this, and in the outliner you can see the atmosphere here. And now in this case, I will again come back into content drawer, and in content I am going to create a new folder and I will call this as imported_assets. And now I will double click this, I will right click, and I am going to import to the current folder the door_edited.fbx file. So when I select it and import it, and I will leave everything default in this import content window, and when I click and import it, you can now see this consists of 4 components. I am going to sit and assemble this door, and I am going to select this main structure and I am going to switch it off, and also I have these 4 doors and I will switch off its visibility, and I will also switch off visibility of tomb, top tomb, and also of this arc. Now let us first select this full door frame, drag it and put it into our level. Whenever we import models from other software like Blender and Maya, the very first adjustment we have to make is regarding this pivot point. You should know exactly where this pivot point is placed, and that has to be adjusted. Here from the selection mode, let us move into the modeling mode. In XForm, if you come here, you have the future edit point. So click on the edit point and now click on top, so that it is precisely aligned to the top here, and I am going to click accept. Then I am going to come into location here and I am going to reset it to 0, 0, 0. I am going to drag the single door frame into the scene. Again I have to set the pivot point. This is a door, and in future if I want to animate it, I want this door to open. And how is it going to open? By adding rotation. So if I press E and if I rotate it, as of now the rotation is happening along the center axis. So I will press W, come into the selection mode, and I will come into edit pivot point, and this time I will align it to the right edge, because this door should rotate along this axis. And now if I click accept, and now if I press E and rotate it, you can see the rotation is happening correctly from this right end. I will now come here and reset the rotation to 0, and location also reset it to 0, 0, 0. Press W and I am going to drag it and place it to the bottom here. If required, I will come into the front view and I will just zoom it and just align it precisely, so that this is sitting exactly touching the frame like this. So even along the x axis, see that it just touches the frame like this. So once you have precisely aligned it, so I have to slightly move it down. Okay, so this appears to be fine. I will again come back into my content drawer, and this time I am going to drag the door top area. I will come into edit pivot point and align it to the top. I will click accept, and then if I reset the location and rotation, I can just drag this. I will just move it and place it precisely in this position, so that it is precisely placed in this gap. In snapping, location is turned off to move it precisely and place this. I will also come into the right view and see that this door top area is correctly aligned to the center, and also door top area is aligned to the center. Now again I will come back into the perspective view, and in the content drawer, now I will drag the door bottom area, and even here in pivot point I will adjust it to top, click accept. I will reset its position and rotation to 0, 0, 0. I will drag it down and I will just come into the front view, and I will just move this and adjust the position precisely, so that it is correctly placed in the bottom area. Once we have aligned it perfectly, I will come into the perspective view, and now we have our door ready. Whenever we bring the model from third party software like Blender and Maya into Unreal Engine, we want to edit these models. Actually, if we create a model in Unreal, the tomb that you are seeing here has been created in Unreal Engine. So if I select it, I can come here and use this select mesh polygroup, make the selection, and I can do the modification. However, if the model is imported by other third party software, if I now select this door frame and if I try to select it and edit it from this menu, it is not possible. Even if I go into model polygroup edit and if I select it, you can now see the entire group is getting selected. But now I cannot extrude or push pull or insert any of the faces. To do the editing, we actually come into the mesh menu, and mesh menu is basically used to modify the models that we import from external 3D software and also from the Fab marketplace. Right now I will select this tomb and I will hide it, and if you come into this scene here, I am now going to select this full door frame, press H to hide it. I will also select this single door frame and I will hide it. I will select this door bottom area, press H to hide it, and I have only this door top area. And right now in this door top area, if I want to extrude or do any job, if I come into modeling polygroup edit and if I select it, you can now see that the entire model gets selected and I am unable to select only face, edges or the vertices. So in that case, I can click cancel here and I can come into mesh, try select, and here you get a brush here like this, and this brush size I can control it by using the size over here, or I can just press the close square bracket to reduce the size or open square bracket to increase the size. So you have here brush, visible, all connected. So you have different features here when you make the connection. So if I click here, all the connected will get select at a time. So I can select it by material, by movie island, all with angle. So if I just cancel this, select this, come back to try select, and all with angle, if I select, see now the entire plane is selected because all with the same angle, that is whichever is facing towards this normal is selected in one click. And now I can convert this into a polygroup. If I click create polygroup, this got converted into a polygroup. And now if I click accept, and if I now come into model polygroup edit, I can select this and I can carry out any of the modification processes. I will cancel it. For this we make use of the try select. Apart from the try select, I have triangle edit. Triangle edit means in this case I can directly come here, select the triangles and I can extrude it like this. Say I can extrude it, I can push pull it, I can do all the modification not at polygroup level but at triangles, edges and faces level. So I can click accept. Right now I will cancel it. Then I have fill holes. In the mesh, if there are any holes or any problems in the mesh, you can use fill hole. If there are any duplicate meshes in this, means duplicate edges and vertices when you import it, you can use weld and click accept to remove of all those duplicate edges and vertices. It will be welded together. Union will actually combine two meshes together. Say for example, if I select door top area and also single door frame, I can shift select both of them, and if I click union, now both of them here you can see will get combined into one single mesh. So right now I will come here and I will undo this. Okay, so for this we use union. Jacket means if I select anything and if there is any problem with the mesh topology, jacket is going to remove it and it is going to rectify it. Then simplify means, say for example, right now if you take this mesh, if you come into attribute inspect and if you check this, this has 104 vertices. And also if I come here and enable this lit wireframe, you can see the wireframe. So right now I am going to select only this door top area. I will switch off this single door frame and you can see the structure here. And if I come into mesh select and if I click on simplify, now you can see that if I now come into attribute inspect, 104 triangles has been reduced to 52 triangles. So I can simplify the geometry by using this simplify button. Now there was some issue regarding this lit wireframe. It was hanging, so I have changed it to wireframe. So right now I am in the simplify mode. I will come back here, edit, and I will undo my simplify mesh and leave it as it is. Now to move into the remesh category, now I will come back to lit mode, and here I will come up and enable atmosphere. Now in this case, I want this door top area to have some kind of texture, some kind of design like flowers and other thing drawn over this. And to create this, if you come into the content drawer, a file called door texture is attached. If you just double click and open this, you have this texture, and using this we are going to create some designs here. So for that, the very first thing is, if you select it, if you come into the wireframe mode, you can see we have very little geometry to create this kind of artwork. So for that reason, I will now come into my mesh, and after simplify, the next feature we have is here remesh. Now what remesh does is, it converts your entire plane into number of triangles. It is similar to subdivide. Now if I click remesh now immediately you can see how the entire shape changed, and the number of triangle count I can control it here. Right now I will keep it at 1000, and then if I come here into the lit view, if I now also enable this full door frame and also single door frame, you can see this entire structure has collapsed. So to avoid this collapse, if I come into edge constraint, allow collapses, I will switch it off. Now you can see the entire area is visible, but still at the end you have some kind of distortion happening, and for this I will come here and choose the option shape preserving, and when I select shape preserving, now you can see that you have the perfect shape, and also it is divided into number of subdivisions. Now I will click accept. In deform, we had one component called displace. When I click on displace, by default you have this Perlin noise and you get a displacement as you are seeing here. Now to get this flower displacement here, we are going to use this texture 2D map, and in the displacement map I have to give it the texture. So I can click here and I will come here and type door, and I will select door dot texture. But before you apply it, I will just cancel this. You have to come into your UV and click on this auto UV. So when you click on auto UV, you will get these maps placed correctly. See, this UV is a very big subject which we are going to discuss about it later, but as of now, allow Unreal to automatically generate UVs on the surface to place the texture. Click accept here, and then you come here into deform, displace. So now if you apply the texture, you can see how the texture is applied. I can change the intensity here. If I make it -20, you can see the displacement will be more, or if I make it 20, it will be embossing, means the areas where you have the black color will go inside. Actually I want it minus only, I will set it as -20, and here also I can set the UV scale, the image size, I can set it to 2 and press enter, and then if you click accept, it will take some time writing the static mesh to be ready. It will take some time, and then you may get a display like this. You just deselect it and select it again. Now the same thing I am also going to do it for door bottom area. So if I click on the door bottom area, if you come into the wireframe view and if you see it, the number of geometry here is very less. Select this door bottom area, I will come back to lit, and then I will again come into mesh and I am going to apply remesh. I am going to set the count to 1000 and see that this collapse, if you enable, it gets collapsed like this. Allow collapse, you disable it, and in smooth type choose shape preserving. If you keep uniform, the edges you will have cut off like this. So you can choose shape preserving and click accept. Come to UVs and generate auto UVs first. Click accept and then come into deform, choose displace and use the same texture 2D map. The intensity is set to -20, see here, and the texture, everything I will turn here, press Q and come down. So, I have the texture placed like this. Then you click accept. Again when you click accept, it will take some time for the mesh to get ready. Deselect and select it, and if I just right click, press S, and if you can see this, now our two textures are ready. Now I can go to file and choose save all. We have only half of our door ready here. I am going to select this door, and actually due to some reason the alignment of this pivot has come to the left. So, I will again come into XForm Edit Pivot, and I will align it to the right end and click accept. I am going to select the door top area and make it the child of this door frame. So, I will select door top area and I will just drop it on single door frame, and I will select door bottom area and drop it on single door frame. So, now these two are the child of this. So, if I move this, this will also change. Okay, I will press Ctrl Z. This door I want to be placed on the other side also. I can select all these three, come into the model, and you have the mirror feature here. I can click mirror here, and immediately you can see it is mirrored on the other side. See, both these doors will be combined together and it will be a single door. So, tomorrow if I want to animate it, I will not be able to animate these doors individually. So, I will cancel this, I will select these three, and I will press Alt, and I will just drag it to create a duplicate. Now, once I have created the duplicate, I will select this single door frame 2 and come into rotation along the Z axis and rotate it by 180 degree. Then I am going to move it to the left, and I am going to place it, and I am going to just rename this, press F2, and I am going to call this as single door right. Instead of frame, I will call this as right, and I am going to call this F2, and single door I will call this as left. This left and right door should be the child of my frame, full frame. I will select the single door left, and if I drag it and put it over full door frame, it becomes its child. Similarly, single door right, I will drag it and put it on full door frame. So, now if I select this and if I move it, see, the entire door moves together. Now, our next mission is, I have to now come into my main structure. When you click on main structure, you have the main structure here, and I have to replace these 4 doors. Instead of using these doors, I need to use the new doors, and I will move to door 1 here. So, now instead of this door 1, I now need my new full door frame door here. I am going to select door 1. I will come into edit pivot point and align it to the top. I will click accept, and now I will come into the location. I will right click and copy this location. Now, I will switch off this door 1. I will come to full door frame, and here in the location I will right click and paste it. Now, only thing is, if I come into the right view, this door is slightly bigger here. So, now I am going to scale this by around 0.9 unit on all the axes, so that it fits exactly over here. So, now if I come into the perspective view and if I view this, now my door is precisely placed. Now, similarly, let us replace the other doors. So, I will right click, press D, and now door 1 I have replaced it. I will come to door 2, press F, right click, press D and come out. This is the door I have to replace next. I will come to XForm Edit Pivot and I will align it to the top and click accept. I will come here and select this full door frame. Actually, you have an option here, right click, and you have an option select immediate children. It selects the children, but it is not going to select the other two. I cannot select the children of children. So, I will press shift and select these two, and selecting all this, I am now going to just press alt, drag it and make a copy of it. Then I am going to come back here to door 2 and I am going to right click and copy the location. I will switch this off. Then I will come to full door frame 2, come to location and paste it. So, you can immediately see that this has been placed at the point here. I am going to right click here, choose select immediate children, and with shift pressed I will select the remaining here so that all the children are selected. I will alt and drag it to make a copy. Then I will come here to door 3, press F, right click and press A and move. This is door 3. I will come to edit pivot and align it to top and click accept. Now I will right click and copy the location. I will now come to full door frame 3. I will also switch off door 3 from visibility, come into location, right click and paste it. Only thing now is this is not rotated correctly, because see the axis, it is rotated by 90 degree. So, now what we have to do is I have to rotate it along the x axis by 90 degree, and now you can see that this has been precisely placed. Now same thing, I will come here full door frame 3, right click, and I am going to choose select immediate children. With shift I will select all the option here. Then I will just alt click and drag it to make a copy. Then I will come and select door 4, press F to move there, right click, press A and come out to see this door. Then I will come into edit pivot and align it to top and click accept, right click on location and copy the location. Then come to full door frame 4, come into transform location, right click and paste it. Select this door 1, 2, 3 and 4 and I am going to delete it. So now if I just right click, press D and show it to you. So now all my 4 doors are precisely placed. Now to demonstrate one last feature available here, the project, I am going to come into create box and I am now going to create an output type of dynamic mesh which has a width of about 10 meters, that is I will set it to around 1000, and the depth of it I will keep it around 1 feet, around 30 centimeter. Width is 1000 centimeter, and I am going to create a height of around 3000 centimeter, that is it is around 30 meters. So, I have created this structure. I will just click here, click accept, and then I will come into location and reset it to 0, 0, 0 and rotation also reset it to 0, 0, 0. Now, I am going to create its pattern around the dome. I will come into XForm pattern. Now, in this I will come into circle and I will set the number of items to 8 and I will increase the diameter like this. So, I will set it to some distance like this. I will click accept and then I will slightly move this to the top. I will just press F2 and I will call this as projection. I will come to this box and I will delete it. I will select projection with shift press, select the dome, and now here in mesh, if I click on project, see immediately you can see how this entire thing gets projected on the surface. Now you have the first option here, parallel. See, this changes the structure of this world space. It is going to align to the world space. I can switch it on or off. See the difference. Then I will set the triangle count. If I make it 1000 and reduce it, So as I reduce it, see how the structure is going to change, and if I switch off this parallel option, see it is moving. You have three options here: shape preserving, uniform and mixed. Okay, so I will set this to some triangle of around 3000, and then I am going to set the smoothing rate here. I will keep this to 0 and leave all other option as it is. Preserve sharp edges means the edges will be preserved as it is, and now you can see the projection will come like this, like something is projected from the DOM. So right now here preserve sharp edges, I will switch it off, and once I click accept, so now you have a kind of pattern present over my DOM like this. So if I deselect it, say you have a structure like this. To project one object over the other mesh, we are going to make use of project. This is not of very much use in Unreal Engine 5. So we create this kind of projection in other softwares and bring it over here, but just this provision is available. It has been shown to you. And finally, if I select the DOM, the last option you have is inspect. Inspect, we have already used it. It is to click on the inspect and know all the details about your mesh, and you can click mesh inspector complete. I am going to right now come here, file, and I am going to save this. With this, we are going to complete our 11th session, where we discussed about how to use the mesh edit tools in the modeling section of Unreal Engine to process imported models and the models we obtained from Fab Marketplace. So in our next session, we are going to add the 4 minars required all around this goal gumbaz, and this we are going to do it in our next session. Thank you.